So this is a song my mom taught us like to sing while working. So that's how I learned how to be a hardworking person. So it has a lot of meaning. So Njabala was someone who never worked, and she got in trouble towards the end. So my mom said, I don't want any of my kids to be like Njabala, because when Njabala never liked to work, at the end, when her mom passed away, she could not do anything. She was married and she always called on the mother's ghost to come and help her. And in the end, the husband finds out the ghost is here doing everything for her. It was horrifying. Yeah, it was terrifying for us. We're like, no, I have to learn how to work. Yes. Njabala, njabala, njabala tolinsanza muko, njabala, 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 njabala tolinsanza muko, njabala bakazi balima bati, njabala tolinsanza muko, njabala, 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 njabala tolinsanza muko, njabala.
I would love to tell you the story of my mother. Soon after my grandparents had gotten married, they started a lovely family, eventually having 10 children, including my lovely mother, Juliet Noita. She was only the eighth born. However, she was able to learn so many things from her older siblings about how to survive in this world. Although her school was a far distance, she walked with her siblings all the way, guiding her out the way to stay clear of the cars that were coming onto the road in the place where there are no sidewalks.
Abeya, 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 balayi, baliza wawere, baseka, babi, baliza wawere, balira, abeya, 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 balayi, baliza
That early experience prepared her to leave her birth country of Uganda in the continent of Africa to come to the US, where she was only 20 years old. She bid her family in Uganda farewell. She had left the country where she was born, the village where she was raised, and all the people that had surrounded her whole life. But the good news is that she will be able to live with her sister, my biological aunt Christine Owita, who had settled in New Jersey. Unfortunately, soon after my mother arrived, my aunt's husband died and my mom had to help my aunt raise her kids. As a result, she was unable to pursue her dreams of becoming a nurse. Also, she wasn't able to travel back and forth to her home country. The only contact with her mother and father, brothers and sisters in Uganda was on the phone using a pay card, which was very joyful at times. But there would be many feelings, many emotions, some would say very overwhelming moments, as they would be able to speak to their lovely daughter. My grandparents would love to speak to their daughter on their phone, and then my uncles and aunts would love to speak to their younger or older sister on the phone, as they haven't seen her for quite some time. After 8 long years, she returned to her village, where she was born and raised.
Kanzire mai mabio gana peka gumba ngugune. Kanzire mai mabio gana.
There were so many celebrations. There were feasts, many cultural foods prepared such as matoke, which is green bananas, and posho, which is cornmeal, millet, and even bamboo. Many people such as cousins, siblings, parents, neighbors, family from her father's side, family from her mother's side, everyone just waiting for her outside the village. In addition to that, she was expected to visit many family members on both sides of her family. And traditionally, in the African culture, when you're visiting family, you're not expected to say hi and then leave. Shortly after, she had to stay and converse, eat the meals that the host had prepared for her as a way to show their love for my mother, Juliet Noita. And if she refused to eat the meals, they would often get offended because they show their love through food. She was exhausted by the time she had returned to New York. The next time she went home was to marry my father. A year later, she gave birth to me.
ddala yenze nze gwe wali onoonya mu kubonaabona kwo nze gwe wali onoonya ebitiibwa wabirina.
When I was 2, my grandparents had come to the US flying from Uganda. This was a very, very big moment for my mother to have her parents and children along together for the first time. When I was 16 years old, my parents took me and my 3 younger siblings to Uganda for the first time. The first day we arrived in my grandmother's home, my grandmother was all joy, all tears, all smile, just laughing, conversing with my mother, taking pictures with all of us, with me, my siblings, and my mom. And I remember I'd asked my mom, since I only know English, how do I say I love you in our language? And she would tell me it is pronounced Ikugana Naabi. And this would make my mother and my grandmother very, very happy. And for this time that I was in Uganda, I'd repeat that to my grandmother from time to time. And I would also refer to my grandmother as Kuku, meaning grandmother in Lugisu, the local language in our hometown. And then Musale, meaning friend. And this was very special, not only for me, but for my mother, seeing her teenager son bond with her mother. After we left, my grandmother had become very ill. My mom prayed for her every day for the whole year. When my grandmother had died, my mother broke down into tears. The person who gave birth to my mom, the person who raised my mom, the person who taught my mom all she knows, my grandmother, was suddenly gone. I traveled alone to Uganda in the summer of 2023. I had to support my mom and to send off my lovely grandmother. And I want to say thank you, Mom, for being strong. Even though you lost your mom, you've still been a great mother to me. You didn't let losing your mom change who you are or who you were. You're still the same person. You're still strong, you still persevere, you still endure. You're not a different person. You're the same mom that I've known for all my life. And you're working very hard to raise me to be the best person I can be. And I'd love to say thank you, and I love you, Mom. Ikugana Naabi.
ddala yenze nze gwe wali onoonya mu kubonaabona kwo nze gwe wali onoonya ebitiibwa wabirina byonna wabirina enensi n'okujjula kwayo byonna bibyo